Hello, look at this question thoroughly. Can you try this? Solving for the value of x to the power of 2x in x to the power of 3 plus x to the power of 2 equal to 1 divided by 8. I want to give you a challenge. Try solving this without watching at our solution and then see if you arrive at the same solution. And then you can turn on the solution and then watch this video to the end to see how we provide a solution to this question. Can you try this? Now let's get started. To find the value of x, all I'm simply going to do is to multiply all through by 8. That way I can be able to destroy the fraction, which is 1 divided by 8. Now let's get started. I will have to multiply all through by 8. And if I do that, I'm going to have this to become 8x to the power of 3, right? Plus, and this will become 8x to the power of 2, right? And this will be equal to 1 divided by 8 multiplied by 8. Great. 8 will have to clear 8, and that will give me 1, right? And then I'll have 8 to the power of x multiply x to the power of 3 plus 8 multiplied by x to the power of 2, and that will be equal to 1. Great. Now what do I do from here? At this point, I'm simply going to simplify. Now I'm going to recall something that if I have 2 to the power of 3, 2 to the power of 3, recall, is equal to 8. So what do? I'm going to replace 2 to the power of 3 with 8, and then that will give me what? Multiply by x to the power of 3 plus 2 to the power of 3 with 8, and that will give me x to the power of 2. And then I'm going to retire this to be equal to 1. Great. Now, what do you see happening in this instance? This value, I can be able to reduce this to give me 2 multiplied by 2 square, right? And that will be equal to 2 to the power of 3, right? Because this is 1. And according to the law of indices, if you add the index, you're going to have 3. So that means I can simply replace that with that substitute. So I will have 2 to the power of 3 multiplied by x to the power of 3, right? Plus 2 multiplied by 2 to the power of 2 multiplied by x to the power of 2 equal to 1. That way, I can be able to have 2 and x having the same power. Now reflect your mind back to a law of indices. If I have x to the power of a multiplying y to the power of a, since both have the same base, this can give me x multiplied by 1 y, all both to a common base a. So if I apply that to that expression, you come to see that that expression will now give me 2x, right? They have both power, all to the power of 3 plus 2 multiplied by 2x all to the power of 2, right? And this will be equal to 1. Great. Now, what do we do from here? We are simply simplifying this solution, this question. Now, I want to assume the value of my y to be equal to 2x. So if I take y to be equal to 2x, that means wherever I see the value of 2x, I should be able to replace them with y, right? So that will give me y to the power of 3 plus 2 multiplied by y to the power of 2, and this will be equal to 1. So I'll have my y to the power of 3 plus 2y to the power of 2, and this will be what? This will be minus 1 equal to 0. Now this is going to give me a polynomial expression, right? Good. So we're going to simplify that polynomial expression. And remember, when you simplify a polynomial expression, you should have three solutions for y. And that is where we'll be heading to. So how do we go about simplifying this? We're going to use the laws of polynomials. But before we do that, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, share it with friends and colleagues, and subscribe to my channel for more of these unique solutions. Now let's solve this polynomial question. To solve this polynomial question, we're going to have y to the power of 3, right? Plus, now I want to break up this. If I break up this, you come to see that 2y squared is simply going to give me y squared plus y squared, right? Good. So if I replace that, this is going to give me y squared plus y squared minus 1, and this will be equal to 0. So why do I have to separate that? So as to make my simplification very easy. We are going to simplify this and then we'll simplify this. Now if you analyze this, you can see that we have one common term, and that is y squared. And when we bring out y squared, y to the power of 3 divided by y squared will simply give us 1y plus y to the power of 2 divided by y to the power of 2 will give us 1, and this will be plus. What do we have here in common? This is simply going to give me y squared minus 1 square, because 1 square is still equal to 1. So what do you see there? We are simply simplifying this. Now this is simply going to give us what we call a diff of two squares. So that expression will now give us y squared multiplied by y plus 1, right, plus y plus 1, which is a diff of two squares, multiplied by y minus 1, and this will be equal to 0. So what do we have? We have two unique y plus 1 and y plus 1. So I'm going to isolate that. If I bring that out, that solution will now give me this value. I'll be able to have my y plus 1, which is common, and the other solution will now give me what? Y squared plus y minus 1, and all this will be equal to 0. Great. Now we are going to simplify this expression so that we can be able to find the three values for y. Now, if we simplify that, looking at this zero product rule, we're going to find out that that simplification will simply give us y plus 1 equal to 0, or we also have our y squared plus y minus 1 to be equal to 0. So if we simplify this, we'll have our y subtracting 1 from both sides to be equal to negative 1. Now recall that we took the value of y to be equal to 2x. So if y is equal to 2x, then we can find the value of x. If y is equal to negative 1 here, and we said y is equal to 2x, then what do that tell us? Negative 1 will be equal to 2x, and hence we divide here by 2 and divide here by 2, then 2 will have to clear 2, then the value of our x, which is x1, will be equal to negative 1 divided by 2, and that is the first solution to what? To the value of x. Now let's simply take that off and then look for the other two values for x. To solve for the other two values of x, we are simply going to simplify this quadratic expression. Now, this quadratic expression looks like this expression ax squared plus bx plus c, and that will be equal to 0. So in this expression, my a, if we compare them, a is equal to 1, b is equal to 1, and then my c is equal to -1. Then using the quadratic formula, the value of our y will be equal to -b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all divided by 2 multiplied by a. Now, with the value of our a equal to 1, b equal to 1, and c equal to -1, we can have the value of our y to be equal to -1 plus or minus the square root of 1 square minus 4 multiplied by 1 multiplied by -1, and all this will be divided by 2 multiplied by 1. The value of our y will be equal to -1 plus or minus the square root of 1 minus times minus is going to give us plus. 4 times 1 is 4, and all these will be divided by 2. Great. Now let's look at how we simplify this. Simplifying that, we'll have the value of our y to be equal to -1 plus or minus the square root of 5 divided by 2. And hence our y will be equal to -1 plus or minus the square root of 5 divided by 2. Now recall that the value of our y is equal to 2x, right? So if the value of our y is equal to 2x, then we can find the value of our x. The value of our x that will now give us 2x will be equal to -1 plus or minus square root of 5 divided by 2, right? Good. So we are asked to find the value of x. We can find the value of x here by multiplying both sides by 2. If you multiply both sides by 2, or by 1 divided by 2 by half, we are going to find the value of x. If we multiply both sides by 1 divided by 2, then we'll have 2x multiplied by 1 divided by 2, and that will be equal to -1 plus the or minus square root of 5 divided by 2 multiplied by 1 divided by 2. While these have to clear this, and then we'll have the value of our x to be equal to -1 plus or minus the square root of 5 divided by 2 times 2 will give us 4. So what are the values of our x? Recall initially we find the value of x1 to be equal to -1 divided by 2, right? So our x2 will be equal to -1 plus square root of 5 divided by 4, and then our x3 will be equal to -1 minus the square root of 5 divided by 4. And all these are the solution to that expression given to us up there. So you see, very easy. If you did enjoy watching this math solution, try and compare it with the one you solved, and then see if you arrived at the same solution. And if that is true, bravo. Do give it a thumbs up, share it with friends and colleagues, And remember to subscribe to my channel for more simplified maths content. Thanks so much for watching and see you next time.